Hey, this is Chris with President's Club, and this is our sixth week on the book Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. If you have missed the last 5 weeks, we encourage you to go back, and you can find those on the President's Club website, and you can watch the information, but also get the notes that are attached with it coming straight out of his book. And so the chapter we're on this week is Why People Buy. And so we'll go over a little bit of the chapter, and we'll split the chapter up into 2 separate weeks. So first thing in Brian Tracy's book, he says in this chapter is people buy for their own reasons, not yours. People buy for their reasons, not yours. One of the most significant parts of selling is the indispensable step of identifying the needs of the client accurately, figuring out what is it that the client needs. And he says one of the biggest mistakes that rookie salespeople make is they spend their time trying to sell something based off of what the salesperson wants instead of what the client wants. It is a fundamental principle that every human action is aimed at an improvement of some kind. People buy products and services because they feel they will be better off as a result. In other words, they're buying the product from you because they feel like they'll be better off because of it. And so when you're sitting in a client's home and you start to understand this, you realize the importance of figuring out what is the need that is here. I encourage you to go back and watch Brent Swindell's ATM video when he's sitting in the house with a couple and listen to the questions that he's asking. He is discovering their need and the reason they want the policy. He is not trying to explain to them why he needs them to buy this product or even why it's so important to him. He's asking questions to discover their need to help him make the sale later. Your client has 3 options. They can buy from you, buy from someone else, or not buy anything at all. It is your job to create value so that they need to buy it from you. So the next part is identifying the needs of the client, identifying needs. Majority of prospects do not care what your product is. They are concerned with what your product does. They do not care what the product, they don't care that it's life insurance. They don't care the ins and outs of the policy as much as they care about what the product does. Now, they mask that by asking you questions. We're trying to sound technical and trying to go through the ins and outs of the product. But the truth is, they want to know what the product is going to do for them more than what the product is. And so if you're walking into the home and you're trying to sell this insurance policy based off of how good of a product or good of a company it is, a lot of times you're going to leave without a sale because it doesn't matter to them what the product is. It matters what the product's going to do to them. So that means, according to Brian Tracy, when you go into the house, you're talking more about the living benefits, talking more about the death benefit to your family and what life looks like after death because of them purchasing this product, this insurance product from you. Prospects are buying off of an emotional reason instead of a practical reason. They're not buying life insurance practically, they're buying it emotionally because of their desire to take care of their family. He has in the book, when he talks about this part, he actually goes into a life insurance salesman. And he said he asked a top life insurance producer in the country, what is a couple of the questions you ask? And he says, here's the main question that I ask when I sit down with a family. Do you feel responsible for providing for your family if something were to happen to you? Do you feel responsible for providing for your family if something were to happen to you? He said, if they say yes to that question, then 99% of the time he's going to make a sale. If he says yes to that question, he knows he can move forward. If they say no to that question, he has some more walls to overcome, boundaries to overcome. They are buying peace of mind and security for their family. And so if you're in the home and you're talking about the riders and you're talking about cap rates, or you're talking about whatever you might come up in the ins and outs of a product, instead of talking about what is it going to do for their family, because it's going to take care of their family, then that's hurting you in your sales. There are 2 major motivations why people buy: desire for gain or fear of loss. A desire for gain is an improvement of life. If I buy this from you, does it improve my life? Fear of loss is people fearing they will lose something if they buy, or they'll lose something if they do not buy. fear of loss, according to Brian Tracy, is 2.5 times more powerful than the desire for gain. He says, though, demonstrate both. When you're sitting in the home and you're dealing with a client, go over both of these. So desire for gain can be living benefits, cash accumulation. It's a tax-free retirement. It's ways to let your money work for you. But fear of loss is talking about the death benefit for your family. If you were to die, what does your family lose because of that? Because you're no longer here. And so you have the unique advantage being in life insurance to take both of the major motivations, whether it's fear of loss or desire for gain, and you can utilize both of those in the home and realize that that causes people to want to buy your product. Appealing to customers' needs, here's a couple of things. He gives us 11 things that appeal to a customer needs. Some of them directly apply to them, some of them not so much, but we'll go through them pretty quickly. Number one is money. Everyone wants money, so when you can link your product to making or saving money, it will capture their attention. This goes right into the death benefit. You saving money for your family, for the family member by providing this life insurance. Or you could go into cash accumulation and taking loans out of your policy and avoiding taxes. All these different things you can talk about money, which is a major motivator to people and how it can help them. He says this will capture their attention. Number two is security. People often buy based off of an anticipation of the feeling it'll bring. So when you leave the house and they purchase a policy from you, what feeling do they have? Is it security for their family? Because when they're thinking about buying, they're anticipating that feeling. So your ability to show them the security you're bringing to their family because of this purchase highly increases your likelihood of making a sale. Number three is being liked, just generally them liking you when you're in the house. It also has to do with other people liking them because they made this purchase. Number four, status and prestige. How will people respect them because of this purchase? I've heard some of our top producers say often to the husband or to whoever's making a decision, this is an incredible thing you're doing for your family that you would want to take care of them this way. That's building into the status and prestige. When you can appeal to a basic emotion, you can trigger buying desire so intense that the concern for price becomes secondary or irrelevant. When you can hit that emotion where they feel like they need this so much, price is no longer a question. It's not something that we're necessarily going to consider because we need the product more than we're worried about the price. The next one is health and fitness. People are looking for things to help them to be healthy and fitness, praise and recognition, power, influence, and popularity, leading the field, having something that other people don't have that they can talk about. This is a good place for IULs and annuities. Love and compassion, personal growth, and personal transformation. So you're looking at these and you're looking over the notes and the reflective questions, and what you're considering is, when I'm walking into the house, am I walking in there to make a sale, or am I walking in there to meet a need? Because if you can figure out what their need is, then selling them the policy becomes pretty simple. If you're trying just to sell them an insurance product, that can be pretty difficult. But if you're selling them peace of mind and security that if something happens to them, their family doesn't lose their home, or their family can continue their life, or if you're going in there and providing them a way to have a retirement that is greater, that doesn't have to be risked by the market. See, we're talking about what the product does, not what the product is, that you begin to make an emotional sale instead of a practical sale, which it leads to a high producing volume. Go listen to any of our top salespeople. What you'll see is they're making emotional sales because they're figuring out what does the client need, and they're matching up with that need. Thank you for jumping on. We'll see you next.